Wednesdays. That was last week. Hey, Yes God family. What's going on? I hope everyone is having a wonderful week. Let me share to my Steam Club on Facebook. If you have not already, please join us over on Facebook for the Steam Club, where we can have more intimate conversations about healing and womb health. Yes, God. All right. Womb Wellness Wednesdays. All right, so today we are going to be talking about stress management. And if this is your first time seeing my face, my name is Megan. I am the CEO and founder of Yes God Wellness, a holistic health company dedicated to the mind, body, and spirit connection. Super passionate about womb wellness, womb health, especially passionate about releasing trauma that has been suppressed through our wombs. Yes, God. So today we're going to be talking about stress management. I'm not going to be staying on super long today. I have a lot of things that I need to complete and get done, but I want to talk about stress management because this month is National Wellness Month, and as we know, many of us deal with stress, all right? And it's something that unfortunately in our culture, in our society, in the US, is kind of thrown at us from different angles. We get it from, social media, we get it from regular media, we get it from the expectations, we get it from all different types of external sources, and it kind of is like this mounting pressure that folks feel on themselves to either do something or be someone or, achieve things by a certain time frame. And the bottom line is the number one thing that we can do to manage our stress and to regulate our stress is to actually get to know ourselves. Start spending time with ourselves. Start blocking out what everyone else wants and expects from us and start focusing on what we desire. All right, because sometimes our stress can come from internal. Sometimes, even myself, I'll speak from personal experience. I'll write, okay, I'm going to write my to-do list today, and then I'll have a page full of things, and I'm like, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling pressured, I'm feeling burdened. And so one of the things that I like to do that I've actually started doing within the last several months, it's been really, really helpful, is deciding on 3 main things every day that are non-negotiable that you want to get done. Just 3. Okay. And what this does is it kind of forces us to prioritize things because we're human beings. It's human nature to want to do the most, to want to do some of this, some of that, some of this. Most of us have families, we have lives, we have friends, we have many different things that are calling for our attention. And it's important to set priorities. All right. And really, when we're setting priorities, it's important to look at the things that are going to have the most impact. Okay. So like for me, for example, I do a lot of content for the certification course that we're going through right now. I do content every Wednesday for Womb Wellness Wednesdays. I have other projects that I work on, and it's easy for me because I work from home to say, okay, I got these projects that I'm working on, but let me just go ahead and do this laundry real quick. Let me just go ahead and do the dishes real quick. Let me just go ahead and kind of do these other things. But when I actually sit down and think about it objectively, I have to think about the impact that what I am giving my energy to is going to yield. All right. And the bottom line is that for me in this situation, dishes, laundry, whatever other household things, they're going to be there. Okay. So it's important also to recognize that most things have deadlines. And if you don't have deadlines for things that are going to have huge impact on you, try and give yourself a deadline. And I know that may seem counterintuitive when you're trying to manage stress, but a lot of times what happens is that we become stressed out about things because we don't actually have a due date for them. And so that gives things the opportunity to kind of loom and linger, and just like, oh yeah, I got to do that. Yeah, I got to do that. I got to get to that. I got to get to that. And it keeps allowing it to be something that sits there versus making a decision and saying, you know what? Today, my top 3 are these 3 things, and they're getting done today. Or by this Friday, this thing has to be done so that it's no longer something that can potentially stress me out. Is this making sense to everyone? Is this resonating with anyone? So I want, if you guys let me know what type of things stress you out. That's what I'm interested to hear. Something that can potentially stress me out. Is this making sense to everyone? Is this resonating? Okay, I'm not supposed to hear that. Yes, God. Yes. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm interested to know, like, what type of things are stressing folks out these nowadays? Because everyone's different. Everyone has a different lifestyle. Everyone has a different support system. Everyone has different things that they deal with on a day-to-day basis. Everyone's lifestyle is different. Okay, everything you said, not being where I want to be. Okay. Feeling like I have to do multiple things at once. I get overwhelmed and freeze instead of being proactive. My kids, yes. Back to school in person for the boys. Yes. I'm going through that right now also. Yes. Okay. So when we're talking about not being where we want to be, okay, where do you want to be? Have you defined that yet? Have you taken steps to actually sit down and define exactly what it is that you desire? I'll wait for an answer on that one. Okay, feeling like I have to do multiple things at once. I get overwhelmed and freeze instead of being proactive. Okay, so for that type of thing, I know it's easy to feel like we need to do multiple things at once, and sometimes we can manage that. But again, it's so important to pick 3 things. 3 things that are going to have the most impact on your day. All right? Is it going to have the most impact on your day to, finish folding the laundry or to go grocery shopping? I guess it depends on how much food's in your refrigerator. All right? But the bottom line is that we have to be able to objectively look at things and say, okay, what's actually truly going to be the consequence if this doesn't get done? What is it going to impact? And then also, what's truly going to be the consequence if this does get done? What is the impact going to be if this does get done? We have to be able to start ordering things by importance. All right. And freezing, yeah, that's a common kind of response to stress and to feeling overwhelmed is to freeze and not do anything, which exacerbates the stress. So even if you can't start with 3 things, start with 1 thing. What is the 1 thing that is the most important for me to get done today? That if I get this 1 thing done, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to be able to understand that, okay, that's off my plate. I've accomplished that. I feel like a maid who doesn't get a break. Yes. Okay. All right. So you feel like, okay, so I feel like a maid that doesn't get a break. Yeah. So the thing is that what is it though that you want? What do you want to feel like? What are the things that you want to accomplish? Sometimes we have to understand that it's okay to batch work together. So instead of trying to run around the house all day and clean it up, focus on what you're going to yield the most return from, and then do those things first, and then you have options. You can hire someone to come in and do chores once a week. You can, I did that, now I'm going to take an hour to go do these chores instead of trying to go and do them all day long. Another tool is deep breathing. And I know it's cliche, and I did a reel on it yesterday. We talked about it a lot in the certification course because it is a huge component in healing. Okay? Deep breathing not only calms the mind, it literally heals the body. I had a feedback from someone on Yes God Instagram the other day when I did the reel on how to diaphragmatic breathe, and that's basically, I'll show you really quickly. It's inhaling with your belly, okay? So most of the time, most of us are always kind of holding ourselves in. It's letting our belly come out as we inhale. So it's like this. Inhale, and then when I blow out, I'm gonna squeeze everything back in. Inhale. Okay, having the discipline and the patience to do that for even 20 seconds, you're going to feel relaxed, you're going to feel more grounded, you're going to release stress, you're going to release anxiety, okay? Finally starting my business and making time for my health and peace of mind. Okay, so I'm going to challenge you to give me more detail than that, okay? What kind of business is it? What health do you want to make time for? And what peace of mind? This is the thing that, and we've talked about this before, we need to start getting more detailed and more clear and have more clarity about what it is that we desire. Because when we have these big, oh, I want to make time for my business and get my health together and da-da-da, what does that mean? I need to go ahead and file my EIN. I need to go ahead and, start meal planning. I need to let's really break it down so that we can actually execute. Because when we're kind of being a little bit lazy about our goals, they're not going to get accomplished because we are not taking the time. We're not honoring our goals and our desires enough to actually define them. All right, and that's the first step in manifesting anything that you want, is to actually be clear about what it is that you want. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to do it without losing my sanity. I get overwhelmed very easily, so I definitely need to start grounding myself through breathing in those situations. Yes, God, absolutely. Breathing is important, okay? Clarity is important. All right, let me tell you something. Cooking and cleaning is always going to be a need. Okay, and I'm not saying to neglect those needs, but what I am saying is that I forgot, there's a phenomenon. It's something about a time stretch. Basically, like when you give yourself an hour, you'd be surprised at what you can get done in an hour if you only give yourself an hour to do it. So start with the clarity, start giving ourselves, prioritizing what's going to have the impact, and then start giving ourselves deadlines. And again, I know it sounds counterintuitive for stress, but I'm trying to figure out how to do all that. So the first thing I think that is that we can do to start to really prioritize is actually write out all the things that you have to do in one day, or excuse me, that you perceive that you have to do in one day. All right. And if we have children, okay, they need to be helping. We are not. Our jobs as parents and as mothers is not to do everything for our children. Our job as parents and mothers is to train people who are going to be able to be self-sufficient, and we are there to offer them opportunities to build self-confidence. Children cannot build self-confidence without having things that they can accomplish, such as picking up after themselves, such as helping mommy, with whatever chores need to be done. Just got to your live, wanted to know what results have your clients dealing with HPV cells had in using your project. So we're not discussing that right now. We're talking about stress management, but you can definitely feel free to browse through the highlights on my Instagram and check out the testimonials there. I have to admit, many times I miss out on playing with myself and my babies because I feel I have to clean first, which is not a priority for me, but subconsciously I think I'm OCD. LOL. Yes, God. Okay, so I used to be like that. Okay, I still kind of deal with that sometimes. So that is actually a defense mechanism, and it is actually a coping mechanism. Okay, and for me, what I knew is that I used to be very obsessed with cleaning and making sure things were a certain way because I felt a lack of control in other areas of my life. So I felt like I needed to clean all the time. Okay. So that's a deeper issue that needs to be addressed in either therapy, some type of coaching, or some type of self-work. Okay. And so deep breathing, again, we talk about all these things. It's great for me to talk about it. It's great for me to know it. But if you're not actually turning around and doing it, it's not going to matter. Okay. So that kind of whole thing about always wanting to clean and always being distracted and always putting cleaning as a priority is actually, a trauma response. Okay. And again, it's a way to try and have control over something because you don't feel like you have any control over what's going on in your emotional state. And so that needs to be addressed. Okay. Please save this live. I have to go, but I want to listen to this again. Absolutely. I love you. All right. So, so as far as so with the cleaning thing, all right, you gotta let that go because you don't not want to spend your precious time, like you said, missing out on time with your babies, missing out on time with yourself. Okay. Cleaning is something that we all, that's a universal thing. Hopefully. All right. But again, let's be honest with ourselves. Do I really need to clean, or am I just actually subconsciously self-sabotaging right now? Do I really need to clean, or am I actually trying to escape right now? All right. I had to learn that again. I like things a certain way. I like, you know what I mean? I don't let people wear shoes in my house. I'm very clean. Okay. Back to what's going to have the most impact. Is it going to be more impactful for me to have a clean house, or is it going to be more impactful for me to be here while my toddler goes through this developmental milestone today? I think it's more important for the developmental milestone. Is it going to be more important for me to clean, or is it going to be more important for me to meditate and get my whole entire emotional state together? I think I'd rather be in a good emotional state and then clean. Okay? So I can just make this blanket statement and say cleaning should be at the bottom of your list. Okay? Preferably cleaning should be outsourced. I understand not everybody's in a position to be able to do that, but when it comes to, if you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, yes, it's nice, and you should have you should be in a clean and orderly environment, but not at the detriment and at the fault of your of the other more impactful things that you could be giving your energy to. Okay, I don't have enough time right now to really break down a whole tutorial, but please YouTube diaphragmatic breathing. It will change your entire life. Okay, I actually find it helpful and productive to write out my day. Yes, exactly. So that's, again, that clarity piece. Being clear, this is what I want to do today. This is what I want to get done. These are the top 3 things that are going to be I'm going to feel really good if these things get done. All right. It goes a long, long way. Trust me. And then what happens is when you start to check off those things that you've marked down are really, really important for the day, now you're building a sense of self-trust. Now you're building a sense of self-confidence because you're like, wow, I said I was going to do that and I did it. I can trust myself, especially for people who have had a history of, making decisions that have made them question themselves and question their confidence in their decision-making abilities. This is something that's small but very profound that can help you start to turn that around. That can help you start to begin to trust yourself, begin to trust your capability and your ability to do what you say you're going to do. Okay? Because even if you're breaking your word to yourself, you're lying. You're a liar. You know what I'm saying? It's just the bottom line. You are a liar. And you do not want to be a liar. The most important person that you need to be honest with is yourself, not anyone else. Okay? So when we do these things and we say, oh, I'm going to make sure I get this done today, and then we go and clean instead, and oh, I know I said it's like that, then I'll do it tomorrow. Okay? You've just lied to yourself. And what happens when we get lied to? We start to lose trust. We start to lose confidence. We start to lose respect. Okay? And these are not just things that happen when other people lie to us. This is what happens internally when we lie to ourselves. This is why awareness is so important. And we talked about that last week. So again, I'm going to jump off. I want to make sure that I showed up. This is an example, on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, that's one of my 3 things. I got to do my Womb Wellness Wednesday. That's it. It's not negotiable. This is something that I'm doing. I've committed to this. Not only have I committed to everyone else, but I've committed to myself that every Wednesday I show up for Womb Wellness Wednesdays. Okay. I'm going to just leave a couple more minutes for questions. And then I'm going to jump. If you are interested in more of this content, please check out my IG Live on Instagram or YouTube. I have lots of content over there, okay? And I think it's important for us to start to give our attention and our focus to things that we want versus the things that we don't. So if you want to be a better person, you want to change who you are, you want to change some things about yourself, start paying attention to people who have done that, okay? And not content that is exacerbating, the current state that you don't want to be in anymore. All right. So I don't see any questions. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. I hope that everyone has an amazing rest of the week. I am so excited because I have recently signed a lease on a space. So I will be doing steams again back in full effect. And yes, God. For that. The grand opening is going to be in the beginning of September. I'm going to take some time, finish the certification, get everything ready in the space. It's very important for me to make sure that the space is a very safe, sacred space, not just physically, but energetically. Okay? So I love you all, and I will talk to you soon. Happy Wednesday.